Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but now I'm starting a new series which shows jab lock setups for every single character in the game. So to start off with, I'm going to start off with Fox. A quick way to check if your character has jab lock is to set the computer's behavior to control, so when they fall onto their back, they're not going to get up unless A, you do a move that picks them up, as in Fox's jab, his up smash, and so on and so forth, or a certain time passes, which is about 5 seconds. So what you'll find out that is if you do a move and they stay on their back, that means that move will set up for a jab lock. So the moves that Fox has that'll do this is his Ftilt, he has his sweet spot in Nair, he has his sour spot in Nair, and he has his sour spot at Fsmash. You'll know you actually hit the sour spot at Fsmash if you see that you do 11% on the damage instead of the 14 that'll do if you do not charge it up. And he'll also stay on his back, because if you actually do the sweet spotted one, then he'd get back up onto his feet. Depending on the character that you're fighting against, it might be a sheep. Outside of that, another way to find out jab lock moves is that just any move that will put them on their back, you'll see. Some moves though will stop doing jab locks a certain percent. For example, Fox's F Smash will stop jab locking characters as early as 9% if we're talking about Jigglypuff, and as late as about 17-18% on heavier characters. It differs for all characters, but I will put a character range for every single character in the description down below. For every single move, sorry, in the description down below. As far as grab combos goes, when you see a Fox, generally what they'll do is a down throw into a forward air into an up air. However, the better alternative is fast falling your forward air into an F tilt so you can get that jab lock. In fact, at a lower percent you can actually get 2 F tilts to continue your jab lock. So what this ends up doing is that if you actually time it properly, you'd be able to get a total of 52 damage as long as you get every hit off. As far as ledge setup goes, Fox has very similar ones to his grab, where you start off with a fair and then go into F tilts into your up B for the maximum amount of damage. The reason this is superior, however, to going a grab follow-up is that this can be done at any percent and can actually lead to kills at a higher percent. And depending on your setup, can actually lead to kills much earlier than 100, as I am showing on Charizard. You have to also keep in mind that Charizard is one of the heavier of the cast, and he's also one of the easier people to hit this on. Now getting out of the low and high percent setups, we're going to the mid percent setups. And Fox's best setup for this is actually his Bair. The reason his Bair is his best setup is because his Bair actually nets him almost a guaranteed follow-up as long as his opponents don't tech. And seeing as Fox's Bair actually sends him at a low trajectory, they're going to be very close to the ground, meaning that it's actually incredibly hard for someone to tech this. Another plus side to this is since this is his back air, he can actually do a running off back air to set up for a jab block, which is also easy to do if you're facing against fast characters who are chasing you down, you're using lasers to spam and they start chasing you down. Anytime that somebody's chasing you down is a good setup. It's also a good setup for edge guarding, where if they are coming onto the stage and you are going off stage, you can set them up to do a get up attack or just a get up, and then they'll be in position for your Bair to connect. And although the back air is the best setup, it's not the most fun or creative setup that Fox has. Fox's up tilt can lead to a forward air, and as I said earlier, forward air can actually just set up a jab lock at almost any time, at any percent. And the better thing about this is that since forward air is such a weird spike, it actually is a lot easier to connect and set up for a jab lock than other moves would be. On top of that, since you can go into almost anything after that, as in a jab combo where you just do your 1-2 jabs, you can actually go into an up smash for a kill. If you actually have customs on, you can go into a twisting Fox for an early kill as well. There's a lot of things you can do with an up tilt into a forward air. In fact, if your opponent's not air dodging or doesn't have a combo breaker like Mario or Luigi's Nair, you can actually go into multiple up tilts into forward airs. And now, since I mentioned customs, I might as well get into the custom portion for Fox. Now really the only custom that actually helps get any setups or follow-ups, I should say, is Twisting Fox. I tried using Wolf Flash to get a follow-up, but it is incredibly hard, and the only way you'd actually be getting it in battle is if your opponent was to make a complete error and just did not try getting out of your down throw at mid-percent. So use any of the setups I showed you earlier and you just follow it up with a Twisting Fox. And depending on the stocks and percent leads, you can actually go off stage to carry your opponent even further, depending on how close or how far you are to winning the game. On top of that, Twisting Fox is just a strong custom to begin with, so it can kill off the top. So if you get enough percent, you might as well just go for those off the top kills. Now I went to custom, I went to setups, but I should let you know that none of these setups are guaranteed. For example, if anybody texts these setups, none of these jab lock setups work. On top of that, there are times where you can air dodge. For example, the up tilt into forward air, you can air dodge that. However, the good thing about that is that even if they do air dodge it, it does not mean they are safe, as long as you delay your forward air so you can catch them. To end off this video, I want to say thank you guys for watching, and just be careful that DI does affect all these setups.